it. Wait for it. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, and everybody on the West Coast. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and everybody else in between this great big beautiful country of ours. How the hell you doing? What do you know? What do you say? What's up? What's happening? Let's put something up here. Let's say hi. Okay, let's just do that. There we go. Okay, so we're back. What's new? What's up? What's happening? Ugh, holy man. I don't know how bad I screwed that one up today, but we're here. We're here. So, anyway, I'm working on something. I'm working on a bunch of stuff. So, I have to get another cleaning person. The other cleaning person that I had last year would not get a vaccination, would not get boosted. A good worker. Great worker. But she was a Trumpster. And she believed all that crazy stuff. And so talked to her recently, and she's had a few relatives that's gotten COVID. Some of them was in pretty bad shape, she said. But she's still not getting back, so I got to find somebody else. It's a shame too. I hate that because when you let somebody in your house to clean, it's like you can interview them and everything else, but still, you don't know who they are, what they're into. I'll tell you, here's the thing. I'll tell you a story, not naming no names, and I doubt this will ever get back. But I had air conditioning, new air conditioning unit come in, and workers came early, and I was upstairs. I remotely let them in, and I came downstairs after they had been here for about 15 minutes. And I had my medications sitting behind me here, and I noticed they had been moved around. Well, I had a brand new prescription of 15 pills that had that, they were that codeine, what do they call them? They were pain pills. And I opened that bottle and checked and counted, there was 5 missing. So I called the guys upstairs. They were down in the basement working. I said, okay, which one of you took my pills? Oh, no, we didn't know nothing about it. No, what pills? What are you talking about? I said, look, I might be old. I might look decrepit, but I'm not fucking crazy. Excuse my language. This is not a kid show. Which one of you took them? No. And they insisted for a couple of minutes. I finally said, okay, we're going to do this. I'm going to call the police, and then I'm going to call your boss. If one of you doesn't fess up in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to start dialing. So what are you going to do? And I looked at my watch and I said, okay, what are you going to do? And I picked up my phone, and I got 9-1, and the guy says, I did it. He said, I'm so sorry. He says, I have a problem. I says, you bet you got a problem. And he took them out of his wallet and put them on the table. problem was he only put 4 out. And I looked at him, I says, are you fucking crazy? You took 5. Where's the other one? He shook his head, hung his head down. He pulled that 5th one out of his wallet, put it on the table. His partner was like shocked. Because his partner was telling the truth. He didn't know anything about this. Apparently, that's what he said, and that's the way he looked. He looked honest. But who knows between the two of them. So, I told him, I says, you know what? You guys better go back downstairs and start working while I think this over what I'm going to do. They went back downstairs. About 20 minutes later, a guy come back upstairs, the one that was, apparently honest, saying he didn't know anything about it. And he says, Mr. Lane, he says, please, whatever you do, can you give that guy a break? He said, he just got this job, and he got a family. He got 2 little kids. I'm like, man, I don't know. The guy says, he's really, really upset downstairs. He said he feels really, really bad. I'm like, I said, well, you go on down there and bring him up. Tell him to come upstairs. And I sat down. He came upstairs. And I told him, I said, look, I don't know what to do with you. He started crying a little bit. I said, I'll call your boss and get you fired in about 2 seconds. I said, I can call the police. They could maybe arrest you. I don't know now that I got my pills back. But it ain't going to look good for you. I said, but I'll tell you what. Years ago, I had problems like you do. But I never went and took somebody's medications. I never went through their stuff. My dad beat the hell out of me when I was a kid. And that taught me early. Don't touch other people's stuff. I said, I took a 2x4 to my son because he had gotten a porno, and he was only 13. He had gotten a porno from one of his friends, and I found it down in his room. And I took it from him and I put it in my drawer. A week later, it was missing from my drawer. He had taken it back. I taught him a lesson. Don't touch other people's stuff. And he cried. I kept it. I grabbed it back. I said, and he said, Dad, I have to give it back. It's not mine. I said, well, that's your tough shit. You tell him your dad got it. Tell him if he wants it, he got to come see me. Kid never came and saw me. I felt bad, though. But it's just, I couldn't believe. I was outraged, and it just as much outraged with him as I was with my son. I had a hard time controlling myself on what I was going to do to this guy, but I told him, I'm going to give you a break. I said, and he thanked me up and down and everything else. Oh, I'm so crazy. Oh. I said, you better get some help. He says, I will. As soon as we leave here, I'm going to get some help. Whatever happened to that guy, I have no clue. Because after they finished with the air conditioning unit, they were gone. Well, here's a funny thing. One of the honest guy, he left one of those little electric screwdrivers, red-handled screwdrivers. You could see it when you looked down to the basement. It was on one of the windowsills, and you could see it. And it was a couple of weeks, and we had real bad sewer gas backup. Okay. And it just came up, and it's just, oh, terrible. I called the gas company. I thought it was a gas leak or whatever. It's terrible. Terrible. Well, guess what? The gas man came. He checked everything in the basement. And the neighbor came over first. Had to open the doors and the windows, get everything aired out, because that's how bad it was. And I really had a hard time breathing. And the gas guy came, went downstairs, checked all the gas and everything, and he left. And didn't think no more about it. And the guy came back. The honest guy says, hey, you know what? Sorry to bother you, man. I left my electric screwdriver downstairs somewhere. I said, yeah, I know where it's at. It's at the bottom of the steps there, the windowsill. It's sitting on that windowsill. He went down and he said, Mr. Lane, it's not there. It's gone. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, it's gone. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I said, can you do me a favor? Look around down there. Look on the shelves. Look, you look everywhere. I said, I swear to God, I just saw that thing down there. And then it dawned on me. The gas man was down there. And he pocketed it. He had to. He's the only one that was down there. He was the only one that was down there. The neighbor that came over, he's as honest as the snow is white. He would never touch that stuff. He's done a tremendous amount of work for me. And there's no way he would have ever touched it. I know that for a fact. But you gotta watch. Gotta watch who you put in your house to do shit. So I'm like really leery about getting this housekeeper, to come in. Like, that's what I did the past few days. I'm so glad, because I got the downstairs done. As far as sweeping, running the sweeper for the past 3 days. So now the only things need done now is dusting and straightening things out. It's really put a dent in everything else I wanted to do, but it had to be done because it was getting really nasty. Uh-oh. Leigh Harrison Hellberg. Here you go, Twitter news. Wesser replied. Leigh Harrison Hellberg said, I got my heart hurt on Twitter today. Puppies and kitties, please. I need cheering. So Wesser signed her and sent her a picture of a thing. Now, see, she has almost 5,598 followers. That's pretty good. 115 retweets. That's good. Liam Kent says, today was a very hard day for me. I completely, out of the blue, bumped into my abusive dad after not seeing him for 3 years. Didn't talk to him, but the eye contact alone was jarring and triggering. Then saw a deadly rollover like 20 minutes later. I'm drained and need a hug. People dealing with a lot of shit today, and it's Wednesday. It's hump day. It's happy hump day, right? I don't know. Okay, Zach Canole BSNRNCHPN. Y'all, I tweeted a picture of me and my new puppy, and I've gotten over 10,000 likes and hundreds of new followers. What the heck? Geez, is that what I got to do? No, I was half tempted to do that. I was half tempted to say, you know what, I've been on here for a while, and I only got 1,600 people, and wonder how hard it would be to get to 3,000. I didn't do that. I was thinking about doing, but I didn't do it. Oh, to me that's not a big deal. They say, well, you got to have a lot of followers for people to hear what you. No, yeah, I guess so, but it's still a crapshoot. You don't know who's on, who's off. 20,000 people might be a follower, but you might only have a few hundred each time. Listening. How many? Look, 1,600 followers, right? They're not all showing up on my page, and I know they're tweeting. The system cannot handle that. So they do some algorithm, hoogie joogie, whatever the hell it is, and they throw shit at you. That you can look at. Now there's certain people I like to see. So I put, you have that little bell next to their profile. Click on it. It don't work. Forget it. It don't work. You're wasting your time. You're pissing in the wind. Don't work. You want to see what they're up to, you got to go to their page. That's it. That's it. So, yeah, Mariana wants to know what's the difference between the circus and the Kardashians. The circus features a cunning array of stunts. That's true. I never, that's Ryan Seacrest's fault, that you're watching that. Kardashians. He's the executive producer of that show. He just unleashed mayhem on all of us. Who gives a shit about the Kardashians? I don't understand what the appeal is. I don't get it. I don't get it. Now the husband Kardashian, he's dead. He was the one of the attorneys for O.J. Simpson. Big frickin' deal. But that isn't what made them famous. It was the Lady Kardashians. And then she divorced him, the lawyer, Mr. Kardashian, and hooked up, from what I understand, Bruce Jenner, something like that. I don't know. And then Bruce Jenner, they split up, and he turned into a woman. I'd stay away from that Lady Kardashian. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She has wrecked many a man. Probably taught her daughters the same thing. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they're all okay, but I don't know why they're so popular. Here's one. Drew Lawrence Antiques. What is the nicest compliment anyone has ever given you on Twitter? Misfit says, people think I'm hot. And Mike B says, no thinking about it. And then she says, Mikey, how you feeling? And Mike says, I just got done with therapy. All right. Replying to Drew at Lee James 57 207 337. You see my compliments on your post. What's the best? And it says, that's a pretty looking booby. Lee James says, that's a pretty looking booby. Sheffield White says, fucking hell, Lee. You took my line. And Lee James says, Kate wanted the best line from my tweet. That was the best. Sheffield White says, is the other one just as good? I asked myself. He got a big smile. Kate says, that might be next week's Titty Tuesday. If you're not on Twitter, you're missing it. You really are. You're missing it. I'm telling you, these people are freaking nuts. Oh my gosh. Boxing Helena, smart, funny, and attractive. They were happy I said thank you instead of shying away from the compliments. Accepting a compliment gracefully is a sign of someone who is comfortable and content with themselves. And the reply is, that was Boxing Helena, and she replies saying, you definitely have me figured out. I know how perceptive you are. I don't think there's anything wrong in being confident, knowing exactly what you want. Lucas says, I want to hit it. I will never quit it. I'm punishing you by not tweeting you anymore. You don't let me control you. Oh my gosh, listen to this. Boxing Helena says, LOL. Lucas says, I like watching dudes on Twitter not get laid. Boxing Helena says, that's fucked up. Lucas says, I'm obsessed with you, Helena. If you don't see it in my tweets, that's your problem. And she replies, haha, if you were so obsessed with me, you would be stalking me harder. Lucas put a pair of eyes up. That's it. Yeah, Twitter, that's it. Oh my gosh, I gotta do this shit here. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. And here. Okay, we're big. What's on the real news? Who cares, right? We're having a good time. Who gives a shit about real news? Changes every day anyway. No, actually, it's the same shit every day. They just change the lines around. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Let's refresh this whole shit. Okay, you guys ready? All right, let's go. Let's go. Oh, great. PIX11.com. 20 hours ago, Sarah Palin, who was unvaccinated, dined indoors on Upper East Side before testing positive for COVID. Ain't that wonderful? An unvaccinated former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin tested positive for COVID-19 Monday, forcing a proponent of a trial in her libel. Oh, a proponent. A postponement. I told you, it's frickin' Mangled news, folks. What do you expect? A postponement of a trial in her libel suit against the New York Times. The Republican's positive test was announced in court just as jury selection was set to begin at a federal courthouse in New York City. Palin, a one-time Republican vice presidential nominee, has had COVID-19 before. She's urged people not to get vaccinated, telling an audience in Arizona last month that it will be over my dead body and I'll have to get a shot. Is it going to happen, folks? The Tea Party Queen. That's what I call her, Tea Party Queen. That was the biggest mistake. I probably said this yesterday. Biggest mistake John McCain ever made. Picking her as a vice presidential candidate. Surely there were smarter women than her, but he was under pressure. That was the biggest political mistake he ever made in his life. So what's going on here? So you want to read this article. It's Sarah Palin, who is unvaccinated, dined indoors on Upper East Side before testing positive for COVID. Associated Press, 20 hours ago. And that's from PIX Channel 11 in New York. New York. Behind me. New York. Politics to Hill 1 hour ago. Biden goes all in on a bad bet before a conservative Supreme Court. The views expressed by the contributors are their own and not of the view of the Hill. So who's the contributors? I don't know. Opponents of the Migrant Protection Protocols, MPP, commonly known as the Remain in Mexico program, say it forces asylum seekers to wait in Mexico until their cases are resolved here, putting migrants at risk of kidnapping, forced gang recruitment, rape, and murder on the other side of the border. But they aren't asking DHS to make waiting in Mexico safer. And many of the nation's nonprofits that provide legal service to asylum seekers are refusing to provide their services to the migrants in the MPP. They claim that the program doesn't just put immigrants in danger, it also endangers the attorneys and humanitarian groups that help them. But the government can and should make arrangements with the Mexican government to protect the MPP participants and the people who provide legal services for them. If nothing else, it should be possible to arrange for assistance to be provided with video conferencing. See, here's the thing. Sure, but why? It's Mexico. And Mexico has just washed their hands of it. We don't have nothing to do with it. You ever been to Tijuana? Washed your hands of it. They have nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with them immigrants. The United States is making them stay in Mexico. Mexico isn't doing shit about it. They want the United States to do. See, that's the thing. They want the United States to go in another country and do another country's job for them. Now, doesn't it tell you what kind of country Mexico is? To me, it does. To me, I mean, I don't even think they give a fuck about their own people, much less immigrants. Well, what kind of democracy is that? Oh, wait. It sounds like this democracy, doesn't it? At least, Biden and the Democrats are trying to turn that around. So, at least they try to give a shit about you. Don't expect anything from the Republicans. Don't. Just never expect anything from them other than bullshit. Other than helping their rich buddies get richer. That's the whole deal around that. So this is pretty intense. And the article is pretty intense. A lot of court stuff in it. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, there it is, thehill.com, January 26, 2022, 10:30 a.m. That's right before the show started. Biden goes all in on a bad bet before a conservative Supreme Court. Here's another thing. Well, I got more other things today than I can shake a stick at. I thought, okay, Biden in November, I believe, appointed like more people to the post office board so they could get rid of DeJoy, but DeJoy is still there. What's up with that? And then he had a commission to figure out what's going on with the Supreme Court. Should there be more judges appointed. What's going on with that? You know, my dad told me a long time ago, if you start one job, finish it before you do the next job. And I could never figure that out, what he was talking. And then I realized when I got older, yeah. If you start a job, finish it. Oh, my time's up. Because if you don't finish one job and start another job, then you got two jobs that aren't done. And then 3 and 4 and 5. So, hey, my time's up. I had a great time. I hope you did too. Went a little over. Oh, my God. So let me say goodbye to these people. I'll say goodbye to you. Watch out for the Max Mix show that's coming up right now. And we'll see what we got. So, you guys have a good day. Be safe. Don't get that Rona. And we'll see you.